Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool. And tire gauges for measuring PSI have come a long way since some of the early ones. Check this guy out. This is a Schrader tire gauge, USA made, from Brooklyn, pretty old. Still works. Basically these had the little slide out cylinder inside, pushed up by the pressure, and of course they went to the smaller pen-sized ones. You can still use these. Here's an example of it. What do I have here? A little tough to read. If I pull that out, you can see this might be a little under 30 PSI, more than 25, less than 30. There's the 30 line. But what is it exactly? Let's take a look. Here's the Jayco digital tire pressure gauge, and this guy here is like the gold standard, the industry standard of accuracy, durability. It is battery powered, so there are still reasons why you may want the old school dial gauge. I keep these in a lot of vehicles just simply because they never run out of batteries. Accuracy, sometimes reading is a little issue. I'll show you that, but basically this is the one that I go to when I really want to know what the pressure is. It's got a rotating 360 degree chuck, so it's a lot easier to read. I can just push it on here. We'll start out and use this as the initial measurement. So I've got 31.9, and I'm going to count that as what's actually in here. Here's a Husky. This one's designed, to be light, compact, marginally useful, I think. Goes out. You can see it's got a little battery there. It's been in the truck for quite a while, but this one's a little harder to fit on. This one's got 32, so we got 31.9. Whoops, low battery warning there. So it's dying on me. That's the end of that guy. That's the problem with battery-powered ones. So what do we got here? This is a Monkey Grip from the big box that's blue. It has a different design up here on the front end. So this is more of a softer rubber that inserts into the center of the Schrader valve rather than tries to encompass the outside. So if you get a good seal, it works great. But sometimes harder to get a good seal. When you do, it's quiet. So 30. So I've got, let's try this again. See how that compares right here. So I've got 30.4, 30.5. So not bad. Now let's, oh, by the way, I've got this ARB. This is the one I use for deflating larger truck tires for off-roading. It's not really designed to go out and check your tire pressure, especially in cars. And this is a much more complex system designed to unscrew the valve core, which allows a much faster deflation than something like this, where you've got a deflator button. So if I hook this up and drop that on there and hold it, you can see I can lower the pressure. Take another test here, 26. There it goes. Take another pressure reading, 24. So it's dropping. That's for taking out a little bit of air. If you want to really drop it like 10 or 20 pounds out of a large truck tire, then you got to have something a little faster. But anyway, let's take a look at these guys. These are Victors. They're brass, kind of one of the nicer of the inexpensive, maybe 15 bucks for something like this. They have a pressure system inside that usually requires this lever or this button to be depressed in order to drop the pressure, but so it holds on so you can bring it back and read it. It's about right. And then hit the button. But over time, and that's what I've discovered with this one, you can see the pressure drops. This one doesn't have a good seal anymore. Maybe a little corrosion down there. I don't know. Or is that the solder? Probably the solder. But anyway, they're useful, but they have their limits. Really inexpensive, kind of no-names. These are kind of hit and miss. But if they aren't beat up, they tend to work. And then Slime makes one. Slime is a company that makes a material you can put inside tires to basically stop a flat. It has a air-sensitive material. It's like clotting blood almost. So if you get a hole, it actually squishes into the hole, and then it's kind of, it turns fibrous and plugs it. They make these guys. They don't have any valve or a system to hold the reading, so you have to read it while it's on, and there you can see it drops right away. So they're a little tough to read. So overall, I highly recommend one of these. It makes it so much easier when you got to go around and double check all the pressures. This gave me a low battery warning and then died. Maybe I got some battery again. Yeah, it's back in business. The reason it's got a low battery is because every time you bump it, this green light kind of turns on. Actually, it's not turning on right now anymore. But what happened is I carried this around in a little console in the truck, and every time I moved something, I could see the light on the end pop on. So killed the battery pretty quick. This one's got a little bit better trigger mechanism. It's a little more shrouded. Doesn't turn on as easy. And it's plenty good. Oh, and it's of course got a tire tread depth gauge. Gosh, if you were running that, jiminy. Anyway, so I wanted to bring this to your attention. Under 30 bucks, rock solid, calibrated, highly accurate, uses 2 AA batteries, includes those. I'm going to swap these out before my big trip, but it does give me a battery indicator there, and I will keep it in a padded container just because I don't want to risk damaging it. I did leave the screen cover on. It comes this little tab you can rip off, and it's got just that plastic covering, but I don't want to speed that up. But anyway, the Jayco tire pressure gauge, the digital ones are, they just make life so much easier. And with that, Doc out.